If you can hear me, hands on top. Yay, that is everyone. Welcome to Kindergarten Celebration 2017. It has been a wonderful year. If you feel, sorry, I did stop some applause, so anyone who wants to applaud that. It has been, I know, it's been a wonderful year with all of your students in 111, the Snake Den. And we're ready for some awesome performances, some celebrations of the year of all of our students, and we hope you enjoy. Without further ado,
I feel like this is the bride's family. So we decided in 113 that we would like to give a gift to the families and to our buddy class, who we love so much, and we have put together a production of Beatrix Potter's The Tale of Peter Rabbit. And I have released my perfection. And I think we will, if everyone's ready backstage, we'll start. So we're going to, our narrators are Penelope Lynn Conrad and Elizabeth Skolnick, who are here.
Once upon a time, there were 4 little rabbits, and their names were Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, and Peter. And Peter. They lived with their mother in a sandbank underneath the root of a very big fir tree. "Now, my dears," said old Mrs. Rabbit one morning, "you may go into the fields or down the lane, but don't go into Mr. McGregor's garden. Your father had an accident there. He was put in a pie by Mrs. McGregor." "Now run along and don't get into mischief. I am going out." Then old Mrs. Rabbit took a basket and her umbrella and went through the woods to the baker's. Flopsy, Mopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, who were good little bunnies, went down the lane to gather blackberries. But Peter, who was a very naughty little bunny, ran straight away to Mr. McGregor's garden and squeezed under the gate. and squeezed onto the gate. First he ate some lettuces and some French beans, and then he ate some radishes, and then feeling rather sick, he went to look for some parsley. But round the end of the cucumber frame, whom should he meet but Mr. McGregor. Mr. McGregor was on his hands and knees planting out young cabbages, but he jumped up and ran after Peter, waving a rake and calling out, "Stop! Fake!" Peter was most dreadfully afraid. He ran all over the garden, for he had forgotten the way back to the gate. He lost one of his shoes among the cabbages and the other shoe amongst the potatoes. After losing them, he ran on 4 legs and went faster, so that I think he might have got away altogether if he had not unfortunately run into a gooseberry net and got caught by the large buttons on his jacket. It was a blue jacket with brass buttons, quite new. Peter gave himself up for lost and shed big tears, but his sobs were overheard by some friendly sparrows who flew to him in great excitement and implored him to exert himself. McGregor came up with a sieve, which he intended to pop upon the top of Peter, but Peter wriggled out just in time, leaving his jacket behind him. Testing. Into the tool shed and jumped into a can. Peter's right there. can. It would have been a beautiful thing to hide in if it had not had so much water in it. Presently, Peter sneezed. Mr. McGregor was after him in no time. And tried to put his foot upon Peter, who jumped out of a window, upsetting 3 plants. The window was too small for Mr. McGregor, and he was tired of running after Peter. He went back to work. Peter sat down to rest. He was out of breath and trembling with fright. He had not the least idea which way to go. Also, he was very damp with sitting in that can. After a time, he began to wander about, going lippity-lippity, not very fast, and looking all around. He found a door in the wall, but it was locked, and there was no room for a fat little rabbit to squeeze underneath. An old mouse was running in and out over the stone doorstep, carrying peas and beans to her family in the wood. Peter asked her the way to the gate, but she only shook her head at him. Peter began to cry. Then he tried to find his way straight across the garden, but he became more and more puzzled. Presently, he came to a pond where Mr. McGregor fills his watering cans. A white cat was staring at some goldfish. She sat very, very still, but now and then the tip of her tail twitched, as if it were alive. Peter thought it best to go away. He had heard about cats from his cousin, little Benjamin Bunny. Peter went back towards the tool shed, but something quite close to him, he heard the noise of a hoe. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Peter scuttered underneath the bushes, but promptly, as nothing happened, he came out and climbed upon a wheelbarrow and peeped over. The first thing he saw was Mr. McGregor hoeing onions. His back was turned towards Peter, and beyond him was the gate. Peter got down very quietly off the wheelbarrow, started running as fast as he could go along the straight walk behind some black currant bushes. Mr. McGregor caught sight of him at the corner, but Peter did not care. He slipped underneath the gate and was safe at last in the wood outside the garden. Mr. McGregor hung up the little jacket and shoes for a scarecrow to frighten the blackbirds. Peter never stopped running or looked behind and slowly got up to the big fir tree. He was so tired that he flopped down upon the nice soft sand on the floor of the rabbit hole and shut his eyes. His mother was busy cooking. She wondered what he had done with his clothes. It was the second little jacket and pair of shoes that Peter had lost in a fortnight. I am sorry to say that Peter was not very well during the evening. His mother put him to bed and made some chamomile tea. She gave a dose of it to Peter, 1 tablespoonful to be taken at bedtime. But Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, who were good little bunnies, had bread and milk and blackberries for supper.
Kinders. We're almost there, Kinders, but I'm going to wait. Thank you for being in Ashima, Olivia. You guys did great. I'm so proud of you. So now this is the time that we talked about. Mr. Swick and I spent a lot of time this weekend. We thought about each kid, and we remembered how you were at the beginning of the year, and your little amoebas that they didn't even know how to write their name. And now you're reading Beatrix Potter. And I think, Mr. Swick, that every single one of them is ready for first grade.
So, this has been a year about our own power as well. I mean, we came into kindergarten, and most of us didn't know how to solve problems. We didn't know the power of our words. We didn't know the power that we get when we are readers and writers and mathematicians and scientists. And when we use that power, we can do whatever we want to do. And so all of you should be very, very proud of the power that you now have and you can take into first grade. And never forget the power that you have, especially with your words. And I see all the smiles on your faces, and some of you are wondering when you're going to get this paper and when you're going to see your families, and that's okay, because you've been sitting for a while. But we're going to do that right now, and I just want you to know how proud we are of you, all of you, and how proud your families are of you, and we can't wait to see what you're going to do in first grade. Okay? So, sure, yeah, I'll give you yours. So, kinders, when you hear your name, you're going to come up, you're going to get your certificate, and we have a little goodie bag for you. Yes. Kinders, we ask that you do not open your goodie bags now. You can open them at home. 111, we're going to start with you first. Yay, fits my height. Okay. And then you are sitting back in your seat when you are done. Just in time, back to his seat. It is Ace. Stella. So the goodies are coming after. Eva. Max. Oliver. Cleo. Julia. Xander. Arnathan. Excited, Jesse. Milo. Sasha. Sophia. Taya. Connor. Nicholas. Henry. Rowan. Luca. And last but not least, Miles. Not here today, but we are celebrating them as well, are Alejandro and Zachary.
Mr. Swift. I was thinking as I was standing here and listening to Mr. Swift's beautiful words about how kinders have really grown emotionally this year, and just really agreeing with that, and it made me think of one of my favorite moments for the year. Probably most of you know that I'm here as a substitute teacher. I've been here all year and stepping in for my friend, Miss Martinez. And I was terrified at the beginning of the year because I thought, what if I fail these kids? And I just, I was really trying to not cry. And I thought, I'll teach them their ABCs. I'll teach them, like, just basically addition means bigger and subtraction means smaller. And, you know, I studied science, so I'll teach them to think like a scientist and make lots of art. But really what I want to help them learn is self-confidence and kindness. And there's two things I want to say. One of my favorite moments in this school year was, we were supposed to go to, I think maybe garden class or dance class, something. I had a really hard time at the beginning of the year balancing everything and understanding what a teacher does, and I missed a garden class yet again. And the kids were so excited to go to it, and I remembered to line them up on time, and that was fantastic. And they lined up and they were in a Shima and they were perfect and ready to go. And then I realized it was the wrong day. And I thought, oh my God, what am I gonna, excuse me, oh my gosh, what am I gonna say to them? Because they're already lined up and they're so well behaved and they're so ready. And I thought, okay, I'm just going to, I really believe in modeling behavior, not just teaching lessons. And I said, well, I'm just gonna do what I've told the kids to do. And we have this, I call it a free pass in the class, where if there's something that you really want to say but you're scared to say it, then all you have to say to me is, Miss Joanna, there's something I want to say and I'm afraid you're going to be upset. And my promise to them, and it's with my children at home too, is that no matter what you say, I will not be upset. It's safe to say it. So I said, oh, you know what, let's sit back down on the rug. And they did. And I said, because I was crushed, I felt like I really had failed them. And I said, there's something I want to say to you, but I'm afraid you'll be upset. And their faces just dropped, and they were so earnest, and they looked at me. And Henry V, who's not here anymore, I said, whatever it is, Miss Joanna, we won't be upset. And I said, you know, we missed dance class, whatever it was. And it felt so big to me, like I had failed these kids. And they just came up to me and just started hugging me, and it was this 22-kid hug. And I just thought, okay, we're on our way. You know, they're kind, they're empathetic. And I look at them now, and I stand outside the door, and I read sight words, and the kids just go in as the other kids are taking turns reading sight words. And they run the class. They go in, they get out a book, they read it. Maybe they're writing their numbers up to 100 because some of the kids really love math. And they can just do it. And they're so confident and they're so loving. And 113, I'm so proud of you. I really am. Primrose. Léon. Viens ici. Zoe. Susie. Penelope. Penelope. Madison. Elizabeth. Rinzen. Miru. And the ever-patient, always called last in the alphabet, Amit.
Here comes the 3 seconds of adjusting. So we have an announcement from a family member, and then we will move on to outdoors. So Anna.
I was making food for all the kids, and I thought the teacher needs a goodie bag too. They have been working so hard this year with all the kids and doing an amazing job. So we should give them a number 1 too. So I have this plan. And then we have our extra teachers, paraprofessionals. We have Miss Brown. And then Miss Elise.
Last thing, I promise, for me anyway.
No, for me.
We started practicing our play a week ago. And Primrose's mommy, Orly, where are you, Orly? Look at her, everyone now, turn it around. She needs all these costumes.
I really wasn't going to speak today, but I want to first and foremost say congratulations to kindergartners. You are now considered first graders. You have 1 more day of school.
I want to say a little bit about our kindergarten staff this year. Mr. Swick coming in, I say to everyone, brand new kindergarten teacher this year, runs circles around the energy of our kids and the energy of the staff. Big congratulations to Mr. Swick. Joanna covered in a really difficult situation for us as a staff. And not only did she do that, she did that not knowing whether each of the next 3 months or 2 months was going to be a position that she held. So she did it without a lot of support on our end because we didn't really know what was happening in the situation. And she continued to go. She continued to grow. She continued to work, with devotion and with love and so much care and tenderness for this class. I think it shows true for her to put in. If you were here this weekend, you would have seen her here this weekend, last week, putting in at least 70, 80 hours in the week alone just to get this participation from the students and from the families, and to have this off the ground and make something special for you. So, Joanna, we couldn't do this without you.
Yay, one more adjustment. So we are about to head out to the yard for some finger food, some light snacks and refreshments. Kinder's lunch will be shortly after, so you don't have to eat everything. And you don't have to hog, you can take your fair share. And there's been a request for any pictures and videos that were taken of the ceremony can be sent to events@harveymilk.com for use on social media. Our Facebook page needs some updating, needs some more recent stuff, and so the lovely Vashti will be in charge of that. So anything that you'd like to share, anything that you saw today that you got on film, please send that. And any pictures that would like to be taken, either your child individually with their teacher, and whole class pictures will be taken up in the yard. So we the teachers, will take the students up as a class together, and then we will release them with you on the yard with the refreshments. Okay?